The trends that we tend to see on social media is taking all of the different behaviors that kids may exhibit and turning it into a deeper pathologized thing and not really putting a lot of the emphasis and the accountability on the child. But it's so important we never forget. One of the things that make kids a kid is to simply test limits. All kids test limits with adults, parents, sometimes teachers, whether they have a disorder or not. It's obviously more common with individuals that are dealing with some sort of difference because they have difficulty with internal self-regulation and perspective taking and things like that. But it is so important we recognize these behaviors for what they really are. We're not saying this child is a bad person or has bad intentions or it's a character flaw, but let's take these behaviors for what they really are and not be afraid to label them for the child. So one behavioral thing that kids with ADHD exhibit all the time, especially at home with parents, is emotional manipulation. And this is something that kids do a lot to test limits and get what they want and really pull at their parents' heartstrings in many different ways to gain control of an environment or because they're having difficulty self-regulating internally. We cannot be afraid to say that kids emotionally manipulate their parents. The purpose of using emotional manipulation for kids is to elicit certain emotions, such as sympathy or guilt or worry, so the child can feel control over the situation or get more of the screens and more of the games that they want, or to avoid homework or avoid a non-preferred task or a chore or an activity. So they'll say certain things to elicit an emotion from parents. Oftentimes, emotional manipulation can be something like a self-defeating comment, like, I'm so stupid, I can't do this, nobody likes me, I'm bad at that, things that elicit sympathy from parents. And sometimes, in more severe cases, emotional manipulation can even be much more serious, like suicidal threats and different things like that. So as parents, we have to be very careful how we respond to this emotional manipulation because certain responses can enforce it and show the kid that it's working. So what parents have to realize is not all language deserves a full response. When you hear this emotional manipulation, you do not have to respond with language and reinforce that behavior. You are allowed to walk away or simply say, I hear you.